This episode was supported by Ingenious. Check it out here.
What?
Has this been happening to you a lot lately?
Spam text. Weird.
Seriously, it's happening to me all the time. And they just won't give up. And the messages, they're just so stupid.
Okay, that's pretty funny, but no, definitely not.
I needed to find out what to do about it.
Another one? My God, they won't let up.
And why the heck we're getting all this spam.
Greetings, programs. All those texts were real. Thank you so much if you sent me some spam this week. I asked for it. Some people are getting multiple texts and calls every single day. Why are we getting all of these? Well, because of hackers or spammers. Honestly, in some ways, they can be considered the same thing. If you're getting these text messages, it's because someone thinks that you'll actually do something with it. They're trying to hack you. And I know what you're thinking. Hacking? That's computery, not human-y. They want to hack my password, not me. And you're not wrong. Hacking can be computery, but humans are easier to hack. The vast majority of cyber attacks, over 90%, involve manipulating people more than code, and it's an essential part of every hacker's plan because they do plan. Think about hacking in movies. They always need a key card or a laptop or access to someone's office or something. And to get these things, they need to learn about the person that can give them access. That's social engineering. Texting just made it easier to do on a massive scale. So easy that anyone can fall for it, like this nice lady. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey.
But we'll come back to my mom at the end of the video. First, we gotta know, why do we get so many spam texts? Why?
They only do what works. And so if you're receiving something like that, that means they're either trying something new or they're probably trying something that's tried and true that people fall for.
That's Rachel Tobac. She is a neuroscientist, a behaviorist, the CEO of a cybersecurity company. She's also a hacker. Here she is hacking Jeffrey Katzenberg, a billionaire. She hacked a CNN reporter.
They gave you my phone number.
They both asked for it. Plus, she has a sea shanty.
Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run.
I have cool friends, but why, Rachel? Why are we getting so many of these texts now?
We know that scammers have always been scamming. This is not like a new thing. During the pandemic, and anytime there's economic downturn, people who had legit jobs turn more to a life of crime. We think that is why the scams have increased over the last couple of years, because it's always been a thing, right? You've been getting voicemails, hey, your car warranty, we want to talk to you, right? And so they're more likely to say, okay, maybe there's a forum where I can learn how to do these scams, and maybe that's how I'm going to make my money.
I want to respond to scam texts so badly, especially like fake news, Britney Spears being attacked by a bear, or was it a bald eagle? Or is she just smelly? Leave Britney alone. But I digress. The real reason you're getting so many spam texts is because it works. People are responding to them. Maybe you don't, but a lot of people do. And the reason there are more people sending these texts now is because people reply. Some people will let these hacker scammers hack or scam.
Yeah, I would say personally, when I'm doing my hacks, that social engineering is a huge part of the hack, and if not most of it. We know a lot of the hacks that we're seeing in the news recently have social engineering at the start and at the end and in the middle.
But knowing why it's happening isn't really satisfying to me. I want to know why it works, and the main answer is psychology.
Insert Robert Cialdini's book Influence right here. I don't know, I see YouTubers do stuff like that. Really solid book. And it talks about the principles of persuasion that are used when we're trying to persuade somebody to do something. So we have things like reciprocity. I give you information about myself to get you to give information back to me about yourself. So for instance, let's say I need to hack you, Trace. I need to know what operating system and version you're running so I can tailor my malware to work on your machine. So what do? I might say something like, hey, I'm really excited for our interview. I just need to make sure everything's working on my end. That link you sent me for Riverside is not working. It might be because I'm on a Windows machine. And you might say, okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Rachel. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to see how I can figure this out for you, but give me 1 second. So now I know, okay, great. I need to look at Apple exploits, right? So we use reciprocity to siphon out information and tell you things first, so you feel indebted to give us information back. Or social proof. I might name drop people that you know so that I can convince you that they complied with my request, and you don't want to be the odd person out, so you comply with my request too. It's just really simple once you understand the principles of persuasion.
People are trusting and kind-natured, so we fall victim to these scams. I took the 100 or so that y'all shared and I categorized them into 4 different groups as I saw them. Urgent problem, FOMO, fake business, and then fake friend, fake romance. Each of these is their own level of sad, but each one has the same goal, to get something from you, whether it's money or information or whatever. The urgent problem category is the most obvious. They need you to do something now. An unsolicited email, phone call, or text will tell you that something terrible is gonna happen if you don't click this link now and put in your email and your password now, and you've got a virus and you gotta hand over your credit card information now. And maybe they're claiming they're law enforcement or a big company or a tax collector or maybe your bank, Amazon, Netflix. It's something super valuable to you or scary. And this is a very common tactic in social engineering because that sense of urgency and fear, it overwhelms our reasoning skills. Another common one in the text that I saw was the FOMO text, which I like to call, if it's for free, it's for me. These are ostensibly trying to get you to click on something or do something. There's a sense of urgency because it's free, but it's a little less obvious than the urgency category. It plays into the fear of missing out, or FOMO. Think getting a good deal. It's limited time, you have to go there and do the thing, and that's a huge motivator for people. I got scammed this way in college. I won a cruise, and it seemed like they actually wanted me to go on the cruise, and I was so excited. They needed me to call and sit in on a meeting, and then once the meeting was over and they were like, okay, let's go for this, and I was like, oh my God, I won this cruise. And then they started in on port fees and the potential to upgrade rather than share a room, and I was like, do I want to do that? I mean, I've already committed to this meeting and I've done these things, and I don't want to miss out on this win that I just had. So they transferred me to another salesperson. They made it harder sell. Had I not been super broke and in college, I may have actually done it. The FOMO and the urgency together was a really tough psychological thing to break out of. I was lucky, but not everybody is. Fake business is another category. It's sort of like another shade of the FOMO scam and the urgency scam. It's obviously trying to be a business or give you something transactional. It could be advice, health, wellness. It could just be sexy times. They're preying on these wants and needs rather than the urgency and fear. You need new tires or better internet. You want to make more money to win a raffle or get laid. Who doesn't want those things? Of course, now student debt forgiveness scams are a thing. Who doesn't want their debt forgiven? It's a thing already. Someone sent me one that they got last week. These scammers are so quick. Fake business scams don't just work with humans though, works on corporations too. A Lithuanian man made millions by sending fake invoices to Google and Facebook, and they paid him. Why hack these companies to steal money when you just send them a fake invoice and they'll pay it? This hack/scam has a name, the business email compromise, and according to NPR, it's up by 1,300%. And the last category is fake friends, fake romance. This is the wildest and I think the saddest, because the people on the other end, and they are people, appear to just want to talk, at least at first. They'll pretend it's a wrong number, or they know you through someone and they don't ask you for anything, at least at first. This is like the texting DM version of a long con. Vice has an article all about it. And these are usually real people, some of whom have been trafficked and are forced to fake befriend hundreds of people. Why?
Unfortunately, people fall for the romance scams all the time, and that's people lose large sums of money, particularly in romance scams that turn into crypto scams. It's really sad. It's awful.
Our brains just didn't evolve to handle all these tricks. We're still stuck on version 1.0 of human, and actually we might not even be out of beta. My point is, there are so many scams and new ones pop up all the time. But the goals don't actually change that much.
Most hacks start with some sort of tricking a person into doing something that person probably shouldn't do. Whether it's give out sensitive details, give out a password, let them remote into a machine, give them access to a document they shouldn't have, or send them money. They're so bold. When we're hacking, I'm an ethical hacker, so I can tell you kind of what it looks like when we're planning this stuff out. There's 2 ways that we plan the hack. Either I'm helping you, or you're helping me. And I can either contact you directly or I can contact you through the services that you trust. Those tech support scams are extremely common. That's one of the most common things that we see in the industry. It's people reaching out saying, hey, I'm from Microsoft, I'm from Apple, I'm with the Geek Squad, whatever. And saying, hey, you've got a virus on your computer, or something's not working with your iCloud, or let me see how I can help you and fix it. That's the pretext, right? I'm gonna help you as tech support. And I'm kind of giving you like a Punnett square of like how we think through these hacks. Just like a bio nerd joke.
The thing is, these hacks aren't always targeting you. or your money, but it could be your friend, a business, or even the US government. And the hacker has a goal and thinks, rightly or wrongly, that you can help them achieve it.
A lot of times people are leveraging the human element of security before they get into the technical elements of the hack because they want the password first so that they can get the access, so that they can siphon out that information, data, money, whatever. Yeah, and if you want to like put a little clip of like Sneakers here where that guy's trying to get past the access control point, right? And he's got like a cake or something and like balloons. And he's like, like that's, many people would say that's not hacking, but they use that to be able to do the rest of their attack.
1 minute. Buzzer, okay? We're late for the party on the second floor.
Excuse me.
Push the goddamn buzzer, will you? Thanks.
The US Department of Defense went through the trouble of making their own network separate from the public internet that we all use, so they could securely share information with each other. And in 2008, it was compromised by a malware called agent.btz. How did it get there? When the network is totally private and separate from the internet that we all use, it turns out someone just left a thumb drive with agent.btz on it in the parking lot of a military base. And some human went, picked it up, and thought, wonder what's going on here. Plugged it into their computer. Their computer at work. Their computer on the super secret special military internet. And agent.btz is in that special secret internet. This classic social engineering example shows, again, why humans are the most important part of this whole process. A lonely little flash drive on the ground gets plugged in way more than you would think. In 2011, the Department of Homeland Security tested just how often by dropping them in parking lots of government buildings. And they got plugged in 60% of the time, unless the drive had an official government seal on it, and then they were plugged in 90% of the time. We really just can't help ourselves, even people who really should know better. And when stuff like this is done by hackers and someone plugs in that drive, a little piece of software pings the hacker and makes them just so happy. The social engineering got them in. But what's with the mask though, man?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, if you want to know, I'm just really ugly.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
But, I'm saving up for a face transplant.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just need $600.
Oh.
I'm so close.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I'm terminally
Okay,
ugly.
yeah.
If I don't get it, the doctor says I'm going to die.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're done.
It's
I'll
serious.
let you know. If we humans are the weak link in cybersecurity, what can we do to make sure our private information, the business's private information, the government's private information doesn't fall into the wrong hands? Basically, it's really simple. Pay attention and talk to each other, not with fear, but with curiosity and transparency. Shame is a tool hackers use so they can use the same hack again and again.
The criminals are hoping that people feel so embarrassed that they'll never talk about it and they'll be able to hit people with the exact same scam for years. But that's not the case. We're seeing people are quite resilient and they say, ooh, I fell for something. That sucked. I don't want anyone else to have to deal with that. When we see people say, hey, this is what happened to me, here's how to stay safe, that really shows us that the person who's helping them, their community, is not making them feel shameful. It's not making them feel like they're stupid for falling for it. Because it's true, with the right pretext, who we're pretending to be, and the right timing, anyone could get tricked. There's something that would work for me. There's something that would work for you. There's something for even the people who are writing the most difficult phishing emails, the most challenging scams. Something could trick them too. And so it's really essential that people understand it's important to talk about it so that we know what the situation is. Because when we disclose these things, when we understand how these attackers are thinking, we can help mitigate those issues, we can train people and get the right tools to match.
Here's an important thing to remember. Getting duped by a social engineering attack does not mean you are stupid. The smartest people in the world fall for scams and hacks all the time. A friend of mine worked for a NASA facility and she once told me they were trained by their IT department how to spot suspicious emails with dubious links, and a month later the IT department tested everyone by sending out such an email and the number of people who clicked on it. Oh my gosh. And this happened at NASA. This isn't rocket science, and they do rocket science. Isaac Newton, inventor of calculus and establisher of the universal laws of motion and gravity. Old Newty lost the modern equivalent of nearly $5 million in a rush to buy the hottest stock in 1720s England, which turned out to be a pyramid scheme. To be fair, this was back when paper money was new and most people didn't realize the dangers of credit scams because they were just used to more stable, minted coins. And why does this sound a bit familiar? You know, just a bit skeezy. So let's say you've spotted a scam text, voicemail, or email. What do you do with it? Just ignore it? Delete it?
So let's say you get a text message, an email, a phone call. You might be receiving that message because you work at a specific company. So I would just let your company know first and foremost, even if it kind of seems like a personal thing, because it might be coming to multiple people within your company, even to personal devices. Attackers will sometimes look people up on LinkedIn, see what their phone numbers or emails are, and then try and attack them from there to get access to company secrets or data or money. Then if you want to report it, the FBI has like a hotline where you can like report this stuff. If you want to do that, you can. It's an extra step for people, but I would just say let the folks in your community know, report it to your team, block that number. Although they're just going to spoof another number next time, but keep your head on a swivel and you'll be good to go.
Another thing you can do is report it to your phone carrier by forwarding it to 7726, spam. You can also report it to Apple or Google and maybe they'll block that number or tell other people that that is a possible spam or a hack. It's not foolproof, it's a constant back and forth. The basic rules: never click on a link from a stranger, never reply to the hackers, never give out your personal information over text to someone you don't actually know. And actually that last bit kind of applies to all the time stuff, because social media encourages us to share wealths of personal information to advertisers so that they can, pay for the social media that we use so that we can share more personal data to advertisers. Somebody's calling me literally right now. It's spam, potential spam happening while I'm recording this video. What? Hello?
你好，中国出入境管理局，你有一则新信息，请按9 获取。
Goodbye. That was crazy.
People voluntarily give up all of these personal details online, and those can be used to manipulate them or guess their passwords. Not just names and birthdays and pets' names and kids' names. There are also those posts always from some like local radio station. Your wrestler name is the first car you drove and the street you grew up on. Yeah, that could be a hacker trying to collect answers to commonly asked security questions. Heck, people want to go join into those kind of things because everyone else is doing it. It's another human trait often exploited by social engineering attacks. Then you just take that information, you put it in a database, pair it with their information that you get right from Facebook, their name, their address, their locations. But don't get frustrated. Regular viewers know I'm all about positivity. This isn't like a be afraid of everything video. This is a you can do it video.
A lot of people go down the security nihilism route. They think there's no way we could do anything. So why even try? Let me just throw my hands up in the air and panic. We don't need to panic. We have the tools. We can do this.
Oh, I love that.
When I think about the human element of security, I think of humans as the first line of defense. And if people understand the why behind how these attacks work, they're well trained, and they have the technical tools to back them up. It has to be both. Then they both know how to report the things they're seeing quickly, which can help us stop it in real time. And they have the technical tools to make the attacks less possible.
Even Isaac Newton fell for it and he got scammed, but then he told everybody about it, which is great because that way other people wouldn't fall for that same scam. So hopefully sharing scams helps people not get scammed, which is why I called my mom. But before we touch on that, the computer is just one invention that changed the world. There are so many others. And earlier this year, I made a show with the Franklin Institute to ask, what are some of the most ingenious inventions out there? Robots, of course. Clocks, yes. Computers, definitely. Electricity, oh yeah. Bicycles. Turns out, yeah. Each invention left society different after it came out. What's more fantastic, a pocket watch or an Apple Watch? Is an automaton of the 17th century more incredible than a robot today? In some ways, maybe. In this show, I got to do so many cool things, including this. Yeah, it was really fun. It was different. It was packed with history, art, and science, my favorite three caballeros. And in each episode, we take a fresh look at a different amazing invention from the Franklin Institute's vault, and we connect that object to the innovation that we're gonna see today in our world. If you like my channel, I think you're gonna like this one too. At least the host will be familiar to you, of course. Plus, Ben Franklin, no joke, my childhood hero. So it really meant a lot to work with the Franklin Institute on this, and I think you can feel that in the show. You can binge the entire series on YouTube at the Franklin Institute PHL or at beyond.fi.edu. The links are down in the description, of course, here as well. If you check it out, let me know what you think. And of course, also, thank you so much for considering it. But now I gotta roll back because we gotta talk to my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. Can you see my flowers?
I can see your flowers. They're blurry, but I can see there's something there. The video I'm making, I sort of was telling you yesterday, It's about social engineering, which is the idea that it's easier to hack people than it is to hack computers.
When it happened to me, I hadn't heard of too many other people that it had happened to.
Yeah.
And did you know what happened?
I mean, I know some of it.
You just think, oh, it's never going to happen to me. I don't work in big programs or important stuff, you know, but it can. They said they were from Apple and they were going to help me with my viruses and call this number and we can help you. So I called the number and some guy got on the phone and he said, yes, you have viruses in your system and I can help you with that if you want. It's only, I don't know, it was over $100. So I went and got my credit card and I gave it to him. And then he said, now let's share your screen. So I shared my screen with him and then I don't know what he did, but he came back in a few minutes. He says, okay, I found 6 viruses and I've deleted them. So you should be good now. And at that point, I think I got a hold of you and you said, change your password, Mom, and don't pay them another cent. As soon as I changed my password, all my issues stopped.
Yeah.
And they kept texting me and saying, you owe us money and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I just ignored them and blocked them and deleted finally. But I was very mad at myself because I let that happen to me. And I told all my friends, you know, if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. I just didn't want it to happen to anyone else. I guess you have to be taken before you pay attention.
So, Mom, what did you learn from this that you can pass on?
You know, if somebody calls you and it may be something you're interested in, just say, give me a phone number and I'll check this out and I may call you back, you know. But you're the one initiating the contact, not them contacting you. Sometimes if I'm bored, I'll just answer the phone, even though it says scam.
You just pick it up?
Yeah, I never answer yes or no. I always say, you betcha, or, you know, or go figure, you know, and they just get frustrated and then they hang up on me. I'm really kind of rude now. So.
Hi, you're scamming me, but I'm requiring you to jump through some hoops, and that's so rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thanks, Mom. Thanks.
You betcha.
Computers are used to do so many things. They can tabulate data, create massive works of AI-generated art, and land rocket ships on boats that are also run by computers. But they can also be used for things like this: hacking, social engineering, and other nefarious stuff. And sure, you can social engineer without a computer. You remember chain letters? But with one computer, you can reach so many more people, so much quicker. And that's really the key here. It's a numbers game. And if you think about it, you can send hundreds of thousands of scam texts out from a single computer and say 0.1 payoff. That's a lot of people to make money from. And Rachel wants you to know there are other ways to make money from hacking.
Come to the good side. You can make money. And then you don't have to be, I don't know, anxious. And you could just do the same exact work and get paid for it. Like, you can make quite a bit of money doing this. So you don't need to always be looking over your shoulder. And it's a good way to stay out of jail and avoid fearing the FBI knocking at your door. There's plenty of money in information security for people who know how to ethical hack. And there's plenty of people who are reformed, who were previously felons or spent time in jail. Your skills are great. Go and apply for some jobs, you know.
The point is, scam texts happen because the hacker wants something, but being targeted and even falling for it is nothing to be ashamed of. And in fact, that feeling of shame might keep you from disclosing the attack happened, which could put others connected to you at risk and only really benefits the hacker. There's no shame in being human. So talk about how you got scammed. Tell other people about the scammers that are trying to scam you or have scammed you, because chances are they are trying to scam your friends, your dads, your grandmas, everybody. I really want to thank my mom for coming on to share her story. Thank you, Mom. She's also a patron. Of course she is. You can be one too. It's easy. Links down in the description. I'd also like to thank Rachel Tobac for coming on and sharing her knowledge with us. You can find her at Rachel Tobac on Twitter or her website, socialproofsecurity.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you know when my next video comes out. And if you want to know something in the meantime, throw it down in the comments. I'll put it on my list. Tweet at me. Maybe I'll be able to answer you right there. Please consider subscribing to keep on learning. I'm Trace, and I'll see you in the future.
Okay, I did what you said. I hacked those people. You're gonna get so many treats from all the money I stole from those other people who don't deserve it as much as you. Know that? Oh, you just sneezed in my eye.
I think we got it.